Hi, and thank you for joining me on another episode of the Tech Exec Podcast, where I'll help you create teams worth leading, because life's too short to lead mediocre teams. As always, I'm your host, Aviv Ben-Yosef, advisor and consultant to tech execs worldwide, and today our subject is don't make him happy. I'm not saying that you should intentionally make people unhappy in your role, but I am saying that way too many leaders nowadays think that it is their role or part of their role to ensure that their people are happy. And I'm sorry, but no, work is work. We work because we ought to work. It should be satisfying, challenging, and rewarding, but it should not be all happy, go-go. Work nowadays in too many organizations is something that we view as I have to protect them, cuddle them. Whenever the CEO wants something, whenever there's a rush, whenever there's some pressure, I want to protect the team so they're never feeling bad, feeling stressed, getting some feedback they don't like. But I'm sorry, that's not the way life works. If you're always there with your Captain America shield trying to protect them from whatever's coming at them, you're creating a team that's never facing reality. They're always being too abstracted away from whatever is really happening, either when it comes to the business itself or for personal feedback and growth they need to make, because you're protecting them way too much. I don't want you to do that. Stop prioritizing people's happiness. Prioritize for creating an organization that's aligned with what the company needs and ensuring that the people in that organization are people who understand what needs to be done and that are regularly growing and challenged. Growth does not mean always being happy, always being content. If I'm always happy, if things are always nice and easy for me as I'm working, I'm probably not really growing, because growth requires some friction, some agitation, some effort, right? If you ever go to the gym, you know that if you're not breaking a sweat, if you're just doing things, the same sets again and again, day after day, you're not doing progressive overload, you're remaining in your comfort zone, and that means that the muscle is not growing. You're not getting the right tension that's needed to create growth. And the same applies to teams. Teams that have things handed to them on a silver platter, teams that are always protected, where they never hear the harsh truth, where they never get any sort of feedback till it's too late, are teams that grow way too slow and that never maximize their potential. I hate seeing that sort of team. It always gives me the itches when I talk to someone and I notice that that's the way they're operating, that the CTO, the VP of engineering, sees themselves as someone that has to be there and protect the team. Try to flip it around. How can you expose people, I guess that's the word I'm looking for, to reality in a way that will make them a lot more aware, a lot more cognizant of what's going on? It doesn't mean that you have to be like House MD, if you remember that show with you, Lori. You don't have to act like a prick, give them bad, very offensive sort of feedback in their faces, disregarding who's around, disregarding how it might affect them. But you do need to provide that feedback. You do need to ensure that they learn about it, get it, improve from it, work on it, as opposed to telling others, injecting yourself in the conversations. And this is something that I regularly see. I work with people who tell me, yeah, that team lead is not really good at what they're doing, but I'm making up for it well. I'm always ensuring that I'm in the meetings where I know it's going to be tough for them. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're making them happy. You're making them feel like, everything's all nice and dandy. But instead of helping them grow, making them the team leads you've appointed them to be, you're always there covering for them. And the price for their happiness is probably a team that's suffering because it's reporting to someone who's not good enough and not being told to improve, and you're wasting your precious time as a leader doing things you ought not to do because you should be doing other things. When we look at it like that, when we realize that just aiming for others' happiness might feel nice right now, might give you the warm fuzzies right now, but is actually harmful for your team, for those precise people you're trying to make them happy. It's harmful for them in the longer term because you're not letting them grow. You're not giving them the exposure, the friction, the tension needed in order to grow and improve. When you realize that, you might finally understand that as a leader, it sometimes sucks, but you have to do the hard work of telling people things they're not going to like hearing, knowing that that's the right thing to do, knowing that that's how you can help them improve, help them with time become the leaders they want to be, and ensure the leaders, the ICs, whatever that they want to be, and ensure that they can unlock their potential, and ensure also that you don't get bogged down being there covering for things, translating things in a way that doesn't offend them, always protecting the team, cuddling them, because that means you will never operate at the altitude you have to operate at. You will always be too much in the weeds, in the trenches, as opposed to being able to trust them, to put on their big boy or girl pants and do things on their own and handle the truth, handle reality around them without having you there in the middle to convey it to them in a way that's more plausible. Because with all that sugar coating, you're gonna end up giving them diabetes. Do not do that. That's it for this week. Thank you for joining me. I'm reminding you, I think this is going to be the last time I'm telling you that Unplugged with Aviv, my new offering with the monthly session, and hopefully if we get more people, it's going to be even more things included, is still at ridiculously low introductory pricing. I'm pretty sure, again, I'm recording these in advance, so I'm thinking when this is going to come out, this probably should come out right around the time introductory pricing is gone. So grab it while you still can. I'm hoping to see you there, and I'll see you here on the podcast anyway next week. Thank you. Ciao.